We cleared away the pine straw and used a garden hose to lay out the kidney bean-shaped area, about 20 feet long and 15 feet wide. We sprayed out a line, removed a bit of sod inside the line, and then dug out the entire area to a depth of 4 inches to allow for our gravel base. Then we put down a crushed granite layer and went over it with a compactor. The green area can be left perfectly flat, or to better simulate a natural putting green, you can use a rake to create a few gentle undulations or ripples to create more of a challenge. Now we're starting our second day on the project and we're almost ready to put down the synthetic turf, but first we need to put our putting holes. Now on a green this size, you can have up to 4 different holes, and that'll give you different angles to practice your shots on. This homeowner actually wanted 3, so we'll set 3 on the green. We placed the 3 cups where we wanted them to go, then marked the spots with spray paint. We used a post hole digger to dig our holes. A power tool like an auger will do too much damage to the freshly compacted base material, so do this work by hand. We dug each hole 10 inches deep for 4 inches of drainage gravel and the 6-inch high cup. Then we set each cup level.
That's a level right there.
Surrounding it with a concrete mix. Leave the lip of the cup about 1/8 of an inch higher than the compacted surface to give room for the turf. We're ready to install our putting green, but first let's meet with our guest who's installed hundreds of them, Bruce Swift. Welcome, Bruce.
Rick, it's great to be here today.
Bruce, the putting greens have really come a long way over the last few years.
It's dramatic over the last decade how far they've progressed. We've come from a surface that was shiny, artificial looking, to a surface that actually looks, feels, and putts just like real bent grass.
Yeah, bent grass is the type of grass that they actually install on real golf courses. This synthetic turf is much easier to install.
It's very easy to install. All we'll do is just pull it over to the edge and trim it right up.
Let's get started.
Great.
And Bruce, once we start cutting the synthetic turf, it's pretty easy.
Rick, it's real easy. What we do first is we just take a regular razor knife, utility knife, and what we do with that is we take and cut it within 4 inches of the base, just to get some of the excess material out of the way. Then we take a pair of ordinary snips and then just trim it up next to the base.
The base along the turf, we actually used a piece of steel edging earlier that we put in, and that's just a nice definition between the synthetic green and the regular green. And then once we have it all trimmed in place, we're ready to put it down onto the base material, and that's pretty easy to do.
It's real easy. Maybe we should go over to the chipping pad and take a look.
Let's get started. Now, Bruce, we already have the chipping pad cut to the right size. As I understand it, we don't have to use an adhesive to stick it to the base.
That's right, Rick. We're not going to be gluing it down or anything like that. The fibers are constructed to stand up on their own. We're going to use quartz, just regular quartz, very fine. We're going to use this typical seed spreader to spread it in, and then we'll take a broom and broom it down.
Now, the quartz actually weights the whole mat down.
That's correct. We're going to put 200 pounds of quartz in to hold the pad down. On the green, we'll put about 500 pounds of quartz down to hold it.
And the grains, or the quartz itself, just falls down to the bottom of the pad.
That's right. And then with the broom, it goes all the way to the bottom, it interlocks, and basically you have a maintenance-free surface.
It doesn't wash out or blow out either.
No, not at all.
The homeowner will love this for many years.
Right.
Bruce, thanks for your help.
Rick, it's been my pleasure.
Once we're finished up with this area, we'll move to the putting green, where we'll add fringe on both ends. On a golf course, the fringe is a longer grass that borders the green. We use synthetic grass with longer blades. We dry fit a piece of fringe along the putting green to make sure we would have a tight seam. Then we rolled both pieces of turf back and laid down strips of felt under the seam. We applied an outdoor-grade glue to the felt and rejoined the fringe and the green, pulling the pieces tightly together with our fingers. The glue needs just 15 minutes to dry. Now that the glue is dried, we're ready to cut the holes out around the cup. Now, the first thing you want to do is take a utility knife and cut an X in the center of the hole, and then slowly work your way around the outside of the cup. Now, take your time with this. You've only got one chance. Let's welcome back our guest designer, Sean Kelly. Welcome back, Sean. Nice shot you have there.
Thanks, Rick.
Sean, this area is a relatively small space. We've really accomplished a lot.
Yeah, we've taken an 80 by 25 foot area and created a small golf hole.
And if you didn't have a backyard that was this size, you could still accomplish a golf theme.
Sure, you could just have a putting area. You wouldn't need to have the chipping tee like we have here.
Yeah, even a 10 by 10 would work out well for practice.